Alrighty. I hope y'all are doing well today. It's a beautiful Sunday, October 26th, 420. Yeah, it's a beautiful day, sunny, bright out. I'm having a special podcast today with son of legendary Jack Herrera, author of The Emperor Wears No Clothes and hemp activists, cannabis activists. Guys, he comes from legend. I am currently right now blessed to be sponsored by our sponsors here. It's going to be a beautiful day. So yeah, it is going to be a beautiful day today. We're waiting for our guests to come on. We have a lot going on today. Again, I want to thank big shout out to our sponsors: Proteus 420, Green Spectrum CBD, New York City Cannabis Exchange, Surfside, Event High, Myers Security, Jadestone Cannabis Branding, Silk Road. Hey Sohan, how you doing, buddy? Silk Road NYC out there in Jamaica, Queens. Our StreamYard for the month is being taken care of by Gordon Weinstein. We appreciate you, Gordy, for getting the StreamYard ready for us for the month of November. And again, thank you. And our new sponsors, WebBot Distributors, as you all know, and Pink's Products. As you all know, Pink's Products is having a special event over at the Weed Shop in Staten Island at 4906 Arthur Kill Road. We are so excited to meet Dandy Dillinger, and she'll be there to spook us out and give us a lovely performance. Also, there'll be a Halloween show as well, not just with the burlesque, but there'll be a spooky tarot medium, readings, pumpkin carvings, all types of stuff. So, but yeah, let me just take care of something here. Be right back. Alrighty, thanks for your patience, guys. I appreciate you. So yeah, we are looking so forward to having you all on. Waiting for Mr. Herrera to come on, and we should be ready for him in a few minutes. So by all means, just give us a few minutes. We'll be right with you.
Hi there, Stan. Message or phone number on the guide as soon as possible. Thank you.
Hey, Dan, PoppaDukes, online, ready for your podcast whenever you're ready to go. I texted you the link. Waiting for you. Thank you. So it's early voting, guys. Thank you so much for coming back and being patient. We just started early voting in the city, October 25th, 26th. Today, I believe it's you got a few more minutes, at least another 30 minutes to vote. I'll be probably early voting tomorrow myself. It's going to be a very exciting week. Everyone is definitely excited for our man Zoran Mamdani, and we really want to be able to see him win. You can vote by mail as well or in person, but by all means, guys, get out there and vote. I will say this: if Mr. Guerrero's not on in the next 5 minutes, we're going to cancel the show and just get ready for Addison Morris of the Women's Cannabis Chamber of Commerce Tuesday. Don't know what's going on or what the holdup is, but you get one invitation only. And I personally feel like, anything could have happened. We don't know. So, but I apologize to everyone that's showing up, and we see that our guest is still not here yet. No big deal. Patience is a virtue. So, but if we don't have, like it's on in the next couple minutes, well, we're going to end it, and everybody can enjoy their Sunday. And just check me out Tuesday with Addison Morris. We're due to have her on again at 4:20. She's an amazing person. Has been a very positive influence in the cannabis industry for years, and we need to show some love. But yes, let's give our friend a couple more minutes and see how that goes. Remember, time to early vote. You guys got a whole full week. Yeah, really, like more than that, about 10 days. But definitely the podcast endorses Zoran Mamdani. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, we'll be having Addison Morris, founder and CEO of Women's Cannabis Chamber of Commerce, on Tuesday at 4:20. And I hope, things work out better than today. Apparently, Mr. Herrera is not going to make it. I don't allow. Oh, there we go. Trying to get on something is screwed. Can you resend the link? Oh, through email. Okay. All right. So it looks like we're good. All right, guys. I'll be right back. I'm going to help him get on. Okay. All righty, everybody. Here we go. Yeah, we're back. We're back. As you all know, we do have to have great patience and love for our guests. Give them time to get their shit together. And it's all good. It's all good, baby.
Well,
So,
I'm not so good with technology.
yeah. Well, all right. So let's help him out, team. You go ahead and set. He just turned the phone. He just had it. What did you do? It's all right, man. It's all right. Take your time. Take your time. Are you back? Hold up, woman. Let's get. Oh, okay. You came back on another one. Yeah, you definitely need. Yeah, we're definitely going to make sure you're good, my man. Are you okay now? Let me move that. Let me remove this one.
All right, now I can't hear anything.
Okay, take your time. Do you see a? You can't hear anything. Take your time. Take your time. I can hear you. Hold on. Take your time. You just had me. Hold on for a minute. Uh, no, you don't need that. Can you hear me at all, Dan? It's unfortunate. We have people that are having issues. He's having a little issue getting on. So let's give him. Let's just be patient. Give him a few minutes, okay? And figure it out real quick. We're already 20 minutes into the show. So what I'm going to do is, there we go. All right, Dan. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear and see you now.
Holy shit.
There you go.
All right. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. We're gonna go ahead and just start from here. I'm so glad that you're on and that you made it. I just want to go ahead and introduce you immediately. So just peace and cannabis, everybody. Welcome today on the OG Social Network podcast. We're honored to welcome a man carrying one of the most respected names in cannabis history, Dan Herrera, son of the legendary Jack Herrera, author of The Emperor Wears No Clothes. The Emperor has no clothes. Excuse me.
The Emperor wears no clothes.
Oh, I was right. Okay, hold up for a minute, guys. Everybody knows I am straight up like really, really dyslexic, but The Emperor Wears No Clothes. I was right. Dan has spent years expanding on his father's legacy, merging heritage with innovation to build a truly global cannabis brand. As the licensing partner with Sumai Pharmaceuticals coming up in Portugal, the Jack Herrera brand is now poised to reach multiple international markets next year. Their footprint already spans Canada, Thailand, and Colombia, and continues to grow across new U.S. states and beyond. This week, Dan and the Jack Herrera team are heading to Bangkok, Thailand for the Grow Zone Jack Herrera Golf Tournament, bringing together some of the finest cannabis cultivators in Thailand, representing both the local medical market and international distribution. And the movement doesn't stop there. The Jack Herrera Cup continues its global expansion with the upcoming Jack Herrera Cup Invitational Europe, launching in Barcelona, Spain, April 2026, celebrating the art, science, and soul of cannabis, culture across continents. His visionary and advocate and a bridge between generations of cannabis excellence. Please welcome to the OG Social Network podcast, Dan Herrera, keeping his father's flame alive and taking the Jack Herrera legacy global. What's going on? How are you?
I am doing well. I'm literally just packing, waiting to head to the airport as we're starting this podcast.
I am so excited for you. I would love to attend something. I want to attend that invitational in April. That would be great, man.
That'll be April 14th and 15th of 2026. And just to clarify,
yeah,
it's Jack Herrera like terror.
Oh, okay. So many people were saying Herrera, and I kept saying I thought it was like Herrera. And thank you for that correction there. And you would think you would know. But again, what is it that we're expecting now? You're going to be at MJ Biz as well, correct?
We will be at MJ Biz as well.
What will you be looking forward to there? Will you be speaking or anything at all?
No, I'm not speaking there. I'll just be walking the floor, meeting with some friends, working always on building our brand and its reach, and dealing with some other not so pleasant things.
Oh, yeah. Well, you talked to me about that at length a little bit, and I want to talk to you about that on another interview. Today is a more happy interview.
Yeah, today's a good day.
A beautiful day, and I was honored to meet you at Hall of Flowers last month.
Likewise.
Wanted to get you on, and to meet, a legend of a legend, I think, because you're really taking it to a whole new level. What the one thing I've been asking everyone, because of the political climate we're in right now, the first thing I want to ask is, what are the obstacles for you currently in this political climate?
I think obstacles here in the United States are it's just difficult to expand from state to state easily, because you either are investing in the infrastructure in each state that you're attempting to be a part of, or you're licensing to another group, expanding in a sense our family through that relationship. But I think the real problems that are what's happening here in the United States is just the fact that we can't do interstate business. So flower that's grown exceptionally well in one geographic area, that we have the ability to scale that, or any brand would have the ability to scale and be able to get that exact same product anywhere in the country. Unlike what's happening in Thailand or Colombia or Canada, where you can grow in Canada and distribute your flower, your products into the European market through the pharmaceutical platform. And so the international distribution is quite convenient for being able to deliver the same flower that you would have in one place in a completely different geographical area. And that just doesn't exist here in the United States. And that even if it did, it would also create other complexities where people are building infrastructure in different parts of the country. And if you were able to sell from California into New York or into Vermont or into Massachusetts, everybody who's building out facilities to grow flower there are then going to be competing with national brands that might be producing from one geographic area. So it just takes a lot to build a brand in the United States, just because every single state, every single geographic area has different parameters in order to function, build, and grow within.
When was the first time you really got into this? Have you, as a child, I know you've been exposed to, one of the main questions that was asked, right? Because us OGs, we were talking about first time we smoked weed and all that. My first time I ever smoked was with my mom. Was it with your dad?
No. It was most certainly not with my dad. But it was, I was 12, 13 years old when I first smoked.
Right.
And my dad found out later. Obviously he wasn't, I don't want to say he was thrilled, but
Right.
He wasn't unhappy either.
Right.
And then it just became an educational part of our lives and an experiential part of our lives from that point forward.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was around, It was easily accessible. We weren't prevented from experimenting as kids.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And during school, I was a wake and baker through high school, and
Yeah, me too.
I did pretty well with my grades and sports and all of that. So it didn't really interfere with how I wanted to live or how my schoolwork was going, or how my social life was. It was just normal.
Yeah, I know. I love it. The stigmatism, I believe, is kind of burning away, although it's still there. With We are currently going through a huge mayoral election here, and in New York City. And the one thing, and his polls even went up. One of the questions was about the candidates, have they ever used cannabis? And Zoran definitely, yeah, I've been into a dispensary. I bought legal cannabis, and seeing that he's promoting the industry. You're in California, correct? Well, actually, I don't want to presume. Where are you right now?
I am in the San Fernando Valley in California.
Okay, and so you all have been way ahead of the game, and when it comes to to cannabis, and I think honestly, I got to stay in Humboldt County in the '80s, and experience and meet some great farmers back then. And even then, there was huge stigmatism. How is it now in California when it comes to cannabis? Has it gotten better, worse?
I think with most politicians, they want to continue on with the narrative of, this dangerous thing,
Right.
because it helps them raise money to get reelected. In most respects. I think from a public standpoint, the fact that we've had medicinal cannabis openly used and accessible here in California since 1996, I think people realize that this isn't the dangerous thing that we all learned in school, or were, the narrative that was attached to cannabis is not the reality of how we experience it most of the time. It's not to say that there are some people that maybe shouldn't consume as much,
Right.
Just because everybody consumes differently. It doesn't matter if it's food, alcohol, sugar, cannabis. They could all be overdone. But I think right now, the new narrative is like cannabis is so much stronger than it was back in the 70s. And, there might be a level of truth to that from a THC level, but THC isn't necessarily the destination of when you're getting high. So if something is, where in the 70s and 80s, it might have been, 15, 18% THC. And today it might be 27, 32% THC. It doesn't really change the elevation that you're experiencing from my point of view.
Right. I agree.
Because I still get really, really high off of, a 17, 18% cannabis as much as I do off of something that's 30%. And the difference, the difference in how we equate things like, indica is a more heavier high than a sativa. But the reality is if your indica is at 25% and your sativa is at 25%, shouldn't the high be the same if you're using THC as the barometer, so it really comes down to the overall profile, its terpenes, everything else that makes up the plant. And, that's your destination. The THC, yeah, you might have more THC in your body, but that doesn't mean that if you're smoking something that's 20% or something that's 30%, that you have, 30% more high. It's really a misnomer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that seems to be the biggest thing here in New York. It's like the more, the better, or the higher, whether it's alcohol or weed. And it's to me, I've had weed that was 9% dirt weed. They got me fucked up,
Mhm.
back in the day compared to today. I have access to a lot of farmers and cultivators that we do a Can of Farms tour. And the one thing I do notice that I'm very proud of about New York State is that the farmers want their minimum 2-3 generations already. So they have the experience, but their commitment to really growing great affordable wheat flour, and as organic as possible. And the one thing a lot of people don't are just even learning about are we want more terpenes, we want more taste, we want more,
Yeah, you want your flavonoids. You want more terpenes. I mean, think about it like this: if you're looking at alcohol and cannabis, you don't go to a restaurant and say, I want the wine that's got the most alcohol in it. You want the wine that has the best flavor, the best taste, the sense of everything that attracts it to you. Its nose, its flavor, the back end after you've had the drink. You want that experience, and that experience isn't tied to the level of volume of alcohol per glass or even the same for beer.
Mhm.
You're not looking for the strongest beer. If you were, everybody be out drinking Old English 800.
Oh man, remember those days?
Yeah, but the reality is what happened with from my point of view, what happened in cannabis was just a money grab on the THC side. We started having access through collectives, through dispensaries, and they were like, hey, this flower's 28%, this flower's 29%, and it just started creeping up and creeping up, and people started equating that level of THC to something that was better, better, better. And it's like, but the reality is the cannabis that really seems to hit harder and hit more true to what you're talking about from a taste profile, from a sensory profile and experience are sun grown, light depth things, cannabis that has literally the full access of God-given sun, and all of the things that really makes the plant strong and expressive. Because inside, I love indoor grown flower as well. I think from a visual standpoint, it's stunning. But there's a give and take. You lose some of the terpenes when you're growing indoors. Your outdoor farms seem to be more expressive. They seem to have a whole different
Yes.
you know uh, there's really an entirely
I,
different
I, if
experience.
it is a entirely different experience. I was up at, I've been, like I said, the most recent farm I hit uh, was Country Organic Farms up in Norfolk, upstate New York, and it was like literal aromatherapy.
Yeah.
And then a couple of weeks before that, I was at Sky World's Grow, House of Sachi, and Nativa. All of them were great. And I got to see both indoor mixed grow and now outdoor with Country. And I do notice that the plants appear to be more alive, we're getting more of the nature. And I'm not taking away from those other growers, because I just finished smoking a bunch of Sky World stuff. Amazing. And they're an indoor grow. So it was a great flower. So I guess it's by it's to each his own.
Yeah.
You know?
But I think through the education, when people really start understanding, when you talk about aromatherapy, when people start realizing that it's the terpenes and the flavonoids that are really doing the job of where their destination is, where their high goes, whether it's elevated and you're going to a concert and you're just out banging heads and enjoying the music and being really outgoing. That's one level, and that's not due to the THC. That's due to the properties within the plant. The same thing as when you're chilling and you're smoking, a nice indica, it settles you down. And going back to the term of aromatherapy, when you're smelling a rose or you're smelling honeysuckle or gardenia or lavender, all of these things take you to another place. You're going to take a nice hot bath. You're going to throw some lavender in there. You're going to light some candles, and it's going to chill you right down. You want to feel like you're out in the mountains on a walk. You're thinking pinene and honeysuckle, things that are going to bring you up and out into the world. And so if we start looking at cannabis and the profiles that we're able to get when we go into a store, and you start looking at what are these cannabinoids, what are these flavonoids, what is the makeup of the genetic that you're consuming, you're going to be able to find something that is more in tune with how you can control your experience and what you're going to be doing at any given time, and pair it to that, rather than just going, give me something that's 33%, give me something that's 25%. You're going to be able to look at what works for you, and that's really going to come from just experience and paying attention to what's on the label.
Oh, but what I want you to tell me more about my pharmaceuticals right after this commercial message, okay?
Of course.
Be right back. Proteus 420, they provide high quality services and educational resources to support your growth and help you thrive in the cannabis community. Efficient inventory management ensures you maintain a reliable product supply and avoid stock shortages. Their point of sale service tracks sales activity, helping you identify best sellers, top employees, and valuable customers. Stay compliant with built-in reporting, alerting you to the latest state and local regulations. With payment processing, accept payments seamlessly across various methods, including cash and debit. Their customer relation management system builds loyalty, ensuring tailored offerings for repeat business. Proteus 420, empowering your cannabis business for success. Righty, we're back. So, what I want to know about your next business venture, My Pharmaceuticals. Tell us about that. They're in Portugal.
They are a manufacturer, grower, producer out of Portugal that also buys flower from around the globe, Thailand, Canada, from elsewhere, from EU GMP certified production that ends up in their facilities for packaging and for distribution into the European market. Whether it's France, England, Ireland, Germany, Australia, wherever the EU has medical access, they are the one of the top companies in the space taking care of that pharmaceutical supply. And earlier this year, we signed a licensing deal with them to produce our products in a consumer packaged good medical available product for the medical market in Europe. And we're just about ready to launch our gummies, edibles, vapes, flower, and sublinguals.
I see that you have that right here.
Well, those are older products, and
right.
the design of our packaging has significantly changed.
Okay.
And we these are American-based products that are in here, and these are when we first started back in 2016, 2017, 2018. Our new packaging is a little bit more refined.
Is that available now to view?
Yeah. It's we're selling in Colorado, Michigan. We have 8 different genetics that are available in pre-rolls, infused pre-rolls, jarred flower, bulk flower, and those are our 2 strongest markets at the moment while we're building out other opportunities.
And what strains can we expect? I want to know. I know you got some good shit out there. Oh,
well, some of them are Emperor's Cut, Master Jack, Jack Herrer, Sweet and Sour Jack, and it goes on. We have about 30 genetics that we're going to slowly rotate into and out of use. Some of them are going to be limited produced products because some of them don't produce as much for a economical standpoint, so they're going to be like a real limited production that will only be available once every year or 2.
Right.
And other ones are going to be available year round. They might swap in and out, to where there'll be 6 or 8 different genetics in the cycle, depending on the market.
Mm-hmm. And so, okay, so all right, let's get to the Jack Herrera Cup.
You mean the Jack Herrera Cup?
Look, man, I'm gonna tell you right now. I am so dysfunctional, people. You already know this. Everyone's known for I started doing this January. This is January of 2024. So we're finishing our 2nd year, and everyone will see every goddamn podcast. I fuck up a name. I fuck up a place name. I have this and I know it's Jack Herrer, Dan Herrer. I had you as I had a conversation with Heru Afori Atta. He's an amazing scientist and attorney, and this guy is really in depth. I just did 2 hours of content with him yesterday, and another hour and a half before that on a podcast. And I almost fucked it up with your flyer, putting in Rick Simpson's son. Holy fuck. That's how dyslexic I am, because I put all of these, this energy, and I can't do that, so just to let you know, here. So I'm crazy. Sorry about that.
But we all are. If we're in cannabis, there's a level of crazy that it takes to be a part of this space.
Yeah.
Because there are so many things about the where we're at that it takes a level of not just commitment, but a level of being able to deal with the crazy that is the cannabis industry.
Right.
And whether it's regulations, whether it's bad actors, whether it's bad weather, whether it's there's so much to deal with on a daily basis. Regulations changing bi-monthly sometimes, packaging regulations changing after you've just ordered 50,000 new packaging solutions, and then you realize by the time it gets to the market, it actually has to say something else on the packaging. Right. It has to be completely scrapped.
Right.
These are the things that we deal in a crazy industry, because every governments, the cities, the states, everybody wants there to be a truly safe, consumable, consumer product.
Yes.
And we owe that to everybody who touches our brand as well, the same as other brands. This is not something that we take lightly, so we go with the flow. But it would be nice if there was some level of standard process that we're able to become a more controlled spend from a business standpoint. where
Mhm.
we have an understanding of where our costs are going to be, instead of having it times two or times three if we have to replace things without even being able to sell them. So I'm hoping for better regulations. I'm hoping that states stop trying to scare everybody that this plant is so dangerous that we need armed guards at our doors.
Right.
It cracks me up, and like when recreational and medical sort of merged in 2018, and some places in 2012 and 2014. But it's funny that you can go walk into what was like a Rite Aid or a CVS, and you could walk up to the pharmacy counter with your kids in a stroller, and you could hand your prescription to the pharmacist, get the most dangerous drugs that will potentially give you cancer, or turn your stomach inside out, or just become highly addictive. And you could do that as simple as anything. There's no armed guard standing there next to the pharmacist, and on the way out you can stop and buy your kids some candy or an ice cream, and it's like la 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 la, no
Right.
problem. But you go into a cannabis shop where nobody has ever died from consuming cannabis, and you have to have armed guards, you have to have security at every door, locks in, locks out. It's absurd, the narrative that and the level uh, uh, of control that the states and the cities want to have in order to make people feel that this is a dangerous thing that needs to be controlled in such a way that it has to go through these extreme measures. And I think that's one of the other things that has to change, is that it has to be based, the access to cannabis should be based on the truth of cannabis, which is completely ass backwards to the way that most governments, promote what cannabis is from a recreational or medicinal, point of view.
Mhm.
And these are the things I think we have it really wrong here in the U.S. is over controlled, over regulation, overburdened, and none of it really based in truth, but based in fear.
Mhm.
And the other side of it is that we're not allowed to bank, which creates a whole nother level of fear, because if you can't put your cash anywhere, then everybody that knows you're selling cannabis knows that you've got cash. And that creates a whole nother level of fear and problems that we all have to deal with from a regulation standpoint. So, we have a lot to learn and grow and build in the space to make things better.
I would hope so, because we are transitioning on a political level. The old guard is fighting to maintain power. There's new blood coming in across the nation that realizes there needs to be change. It's going to happen, and that is one of the major concerns that I hear in New York, is the fact that we can't bank anywhere. We have no security. The taxes are
Enormous.
I mean, what I heard, one of my sponsors, Sohan Bashar from Silk Road, what he told me, I went to his dispensary one day, and he's like walking out with cash money to go pay the taxes. And I'm like, wow, but you can't do that through the banking. And, I mean, was there any like an ancillary bank or something? Nope, you got to walk this over to the, and get it done. And of course, I noticed he had two buddies, big guys I'd never seen before, to make sure he got there and back. And that's pretty scary, especially in the city. But at the same time, do you see change coming soon?
No.
At least on a statewide level? No.
No.
Yeah.
States are still too consumed with what they can take from us, not
Right.
what they can give to us.
Right.
If they thought that we had an extra dollar of profit somewhere, they'd figure out a way to tax it away from us.
Right. Right.
And that's really the issue, and it's whether it's an additional city tax, if it's an additional sales tax, if it's an additional state tax, is it additional production tax or license tax, you know, um, the whole system is really,
Rigged for you to fail.
yeah.
That's how I feel.
I mean, how many of my friends or your friends have come into this with, the best heart, the best intentions, and really just wants to do everything right, but it just grinds you up and spits you out. And if you have the temerity to just, and the fortitude to just stick with it,
Right.
to just let it abuse you. You're Muhammad Ali on the ropes doing the rope dope, and just taking the body blows, and hopefully you're able to come off the ropes and get back into the fight and keep things moving forward. But a lot of folks haven't been, so lucky, so blessed. And this brand is no different than any other brand. As well known as my father's name is, there's no easy road anywhere within the space that I know of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. No one's kind of told me about it anyway. All right. So on a more lighter note, the Jack Herrer Cup Invitational.
Yep.
And no. I want to talk about the Grow Zone golf tournament. Yeah, that's where I want to go next. Then we do that. The Grow Zone. Who's going to be golfing there? Any?
It is going to be all of the growers in Thailand that are hoping to become EU GMP certified, that are growing, flower for the international market. There are many folks coming in from Europe, from Australia, to be a part of what's going on in Thailand, whether it's our golf tournament or the hemp and cannabis conference the following days after our event. But it's really just an opportunity to greet the folks that are making a difference around the world with moving cannabis from one country to another, putting it into a market in a safe and productive way. And it gives us an opportunity to build relationships, to allow people to see where the flower is being grown, how the flower is being grown. And many of these grows are the most sophisticated that I've ever seen. Absolute clean rooms from the time you walk into the grow to the time that you leave. It really feels like you're walking through a pharma based product development and growth. There's the air circulation's done, the climate and humidity, and temperature controls throughout. Thailand's a tough place to grow, with the humidity always being so high there. To have the climate controlled grows, it takes a lot of dedication and patience and trial and error to get it done right. And there are many grows there that are growing stunningly beautiful flower.
Mm-hmm.
And we're there to expose them to the European market and to opportunities that give them the ability to sell internationally.
Well, I know the podcast you've already scheduled me for next year, dude. I definitely want to go to Thailand and see those grows. And so the invitational, is this, how long have you been doing the invitational?
Well, we've been doing the Jack Herrer Cup in different countries for, since like 2015, 2016, from any type of commercial level of an event. My dad used to have some Jack Herrer challenges in his apartment back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But what we're doing now is a little bit more different. It's a bit more serious. So between what happened in Las Vegas to what's happened in the Netherlands and in Amsterdam, we're now looking to take it into, we've done it in Germany 2 years. We're looking to expand into Spain, hopefully into, Prague, or potentially even Switzerland at some point in the future, and really just go to communities that have a level of appreciation for what's happening in cannabis. Spain's still a bit challenging. It's got a great
Why?
community,
Yeah,
but
why is it so challenging?
well, there's
Because I'm hearing it's a good place for people to go in Europe to enjoy cannabis, but then now you're like the second or third person I've heard. Nah, it's not the case.
yeah. I mean, the challenging part is the government doesn't really appreciate the cannabis community the way that we do here, the way that it's being treated in New York, where it's just another, any place that you can smoke a cigarette, you could smoke a joint. I think that they may come around, but they have medical cannabis there. But consumption is basically in your home or in a private, facility.
Oh, facility, right?
And it's not open like you can go smoke on the beach or while you're walking down, one of the shopping areas, just on your way to dinner. So our event that's coming up is in a private facility. It's invitation only. It's not open to the public. But we're hoping to bring the very best of the cannabis community to participate in our program that really celebrates cannabis and hash and its other products that we hope to continue acknowledging around the world. And I think that now that Spannabis has moved on to another geographic area in Spain, many of the people that are going to be traveling to that are going to be having to pass through Madrid or back through Barcelona, like we've been doing for more than a decade, and really just take advantage of the international community passing through and being able to take care of, take advantage of their presence there and bring them into the Jack Herrer Invitational on the way to Spannabis, and really just give us an opportunity to share some time together on the beach in Spain, acknowledge the very best that cannabis has to offer in Europe, continue to build relationships and friendships that will take us to other parts of the world as the rest of the world continues to open up to cannabis.
I want you to, after this commercial message, I want you to tell me more about your experiences in Spain and what I'm hearing about Portugal as well. Okay, so just give me a second. Be right back.
Visit us today, New York City Cannabis Exchange.
All righty, we're back. If you ever want commercials done, hit me up. I got it. I can do it, baby. Y'all know PoppaDukes don't play. I'll be trying to save y'all money because what's going on is, I'm hearing the main thing that many retailers, cultivators, and people that need to advertise is marketing. They don't have the budget for it. And so I come around it a whole different way. I'm like, well, let's barter. Give me a 2-week in Airbnb on your farm, or let me work for you and do some harvesting. I don't give a shit. I love it right now. I love it.
I don't have a farm myself. I have no licenses in cannabis. Every aspect of what I do is all through licensing, utilizing our relationships with other people that are far more qualified than I am to produce the flower that's part of this brand.
Well, that statement actually wasn't meant for you. It was for everyone else. I know you're doing something else. Okay, buddy? But tell me, so we know about Spain. Now that you've opened up our eyes, it's more keep it in your house or go to a licensed consumption lounge. What about Portugal? I hear Portugal's very open in there. Have you ever experienced or been there to experience cannabis in Portugal?
Yeah, I've been to Portugal a couple of times. The last time I was there, we were not consuming openly as we were walking down the streets. So I don't know how the police really react to us there. I know that in lots of parts of the world that have medical access are not necessarily publicly open to its consumption. But from a production standpoint, from being a place of companies to come and put down their footprint or foundation for grow and sales and production and development of cannabis medicine, it is on the forefront right now of what is feeding the European market. And I think like every industry, there's growing pains. There's things that people are learning, lessons on how to deal with the ever-changing space that we all deal with, because they're dealing with regulations in multiple countries simultaneously while they're dealing with how to grow the very best products they can in-house, as well as their development, testing, certification of all the flower that they bring in through other facilities from around the globe that become compliant for that for that market. And when you talk about pharmaceutical compliance, it's a whole nother level of process that we don't necessarily have here. Not to say that it's significantly better than but I think that there's a level of responsibility that is taken on by companies like SOMI that even though they're a pharmaceutical company, putting out this product into the consumer market through pharmacies and being prescribed by doctors, their love for what this plant is no different than what's happening in Northern California or in Washington or in New York. The people are incredibly dedicated to really doing the very best jobs that they can, understanding the power of this medicine, and they take it just incredibly seriously, and they do it with a heart. And that's one of the things that attracted me to them. Is it can't always be about the money. We all need money to succeed and to exist and to keep fighting our fights, to keep moving forward. But SOMI thinks with their heart as much as they think with their wallet, and their team is amazing. Their dedication to producing and providing the very best medicine it's wonderful to watch. I feel blessed to be part of their team, and I'm looking to build and do great things with them in the coming years. And I couldn't be any prouder as a provider partner.
Well, from what you described is pretty much all of the farmers and processors and cultivators in New York that I've met. Their dedication and I don't know, it's more on a fanatical side, but it's good to ensure that they give you the highest quality products with the biomass that they produced. And I just brought up actually SOMI's website real quick. Let me see if I can do it. And so yeah, it's these guys. Again, I wish I could have had you. If anybody wants to go through, you can meet the team. And see their approach, their patents, their products. Is there anything extra you want to tell us more about them while they're
You
here?
know, they are also, working with some of the best brands that have, started here in the United States. They're working with Stravinsky. They're working with the Cookies or slash Burner. They're,
Oh, I see.
thankfully they're working with us. They're working with the best hardware. They're working. They're working with. They're trying to really be. Um, they're really trying to set a standard for how they do business and how what is acceptable
Mhm.
in the European market, and its pharmacies are, you know it's challenging even to provide them their product because everything is so scrutinized, and everything is about how many pennies or how many dollars. And from one side of it, SOMI is trying to make sure that the prices aren't being compressed to the point where the farmers are in danger of just surviving or not surviving. And so they're making sure that they can stabilize cannabis prices within the market, so
Mhm.
everybody has an opportunity to eat, as far as their companies, for their energy that they put in, for the product that they provide. And it's not just one company that's touching this plant that has the ability to make money and profit.
Well, that's damn good to hear. I mean, to hear that a company wants to be able to uh, have a business model where everybody can eat at the table, that's good to know. We definitely want that here. We do see a lot of performative and predatory practices, as you know you've seen and have experienced. Here in New York, for us, it's a new phenomena, but there are a lot of organizations here in the city that work together to help new licensee and card holders be able to get their foot off the ground and start their businesses. I know you're going to be heading off to Bangkok this week, and I just want to tell you I really appreciate. I hope we can do this again when you come back. When are you coming back?
I come back the middle of November.
Okay, so we definitely want to follow up with you and find out how the trip was, and want to keep you in the loop too as well, and keep you on as a regular guest and help you in any way possible
Yeah.
to promote that brand of yours, man. Because I'm going to start reading your dad's book too, so I'm quite embarrassed I haven't read it.
Well, here's a very interesting thing about my father's book, and something that I really didn't look at until just recently. My father was posthumously awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award at the California State Fair. And one of the things that struck me was my father's book has been published in um, 6 or 9 languages, depending on if it's an authorized version or a non-authorized version. And the every single country that the book has been published in: Portuguese, French, Spanish, English, Japanese, um, Czech,
Mhm.
um, every single place where it's been published, there is some form of legal cannabis. And whether it was inspired by the book, whether it helped people to find their voices within those spaces, and be able to fight for access within these countries, it's just astounding the power of the written word is still. And that his book is part of each of those communities. And so when you read it, I hope you find a new understanding, not that you don't have an understanding, but even when I read it, I always find more things. And I've read it, a dozen times. And I keep learning more. I keep absorbing more. Um, and I'm grateful that it's still out there, uh, now 40 years since it was first published. And I am I'm just amazed.
I'm very, very happy to see that I was able to talk to you today. Where can we find you other than, hey, by the way, yeah, I know we can find you on LinkedIn. Where else can you find you on social media?
You can find us at Jack Herrer Brands. All one word. Don't look for anything that's underscored.
Right.
If there's an underscore in it, it's not us.
Right.
There's plenty of imposters out there that we're dealing with. As anything that is valuable, there are many people that would like to take it from you.
Yes.
And so we do our best to stay focused, and we'll leave the dirty work to courts.
Understood. They can also find you on LinkedIn, and are you on IG as well? Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram is at Jack Herrer Brands.
Oh, okay, I just want to be sure. All
yeah,
right.
No underscores.
No underscores, man. All right. So, and be aware, everybody. This is one of the golden brands, one of the platinum ones. I love this guy. Thank you so much. Why don't you hold on for a second? Let me say goodbye to everyone, if you'd like. All right.
If you give me an opportunity to apologize to everybody that was waiting for my tardiness as I came onto the show. I won't be late for the next one if you invite me back.
No, you're invited back. No, you would have not been invited back if I didn't hear from you. So that's different. What we saw was a great man, young man, trying to get on technology, and it wasn't working.
Oh, I'm so far from young, son.
Well, how old are you?
I'm 63.
Damn, you're older than me. I'm 61. I thought you were. All right, dude. All right, so you're still a young man. I
haven't quite got into the gray here yet. Yeah, it's starting to creep in here and there, but
you look amazing, bro. I would have given you 51, 52.
Yeah. Well,
he's like, yeah, my bones don't say it.
I feel like I've been in a fight for 50 years.
Oh man, I feel you, brother. Well, you're not fighting alone. All right.
We are certainly not.
All right. Just hold on.
I'm grateful to have the company and the friendship that gets me through every day.
I'm glad. I'm very blessed to hear that. Hold on for a minute. All right. We'll be right with you. All right, everybody. Yeah, this has been a great show. I'm glad he was able to get on. I'm glad everything worked out. I'm going to go ahead and just say, just say thank you so much for hanging with me and being with me today. It's been a great day. And again, when it comes to the next week or so, we are going to have this major election for mayor in New York City. So I hope you all will be there. You'll vote. And hey, I'll talk to you soon. This is PoppaDukes of the OG Social Network podcast. Remember to relax, relate, and release. Peace.